Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I share simple, effective gardening tips to help you grow happy plants, no matter where you live. Today, we're diving into one of the easiest and most rewarding herbs to grow indoors, basil. Basil is not only incredibly fragrant, but it also packs a punch when it comes to flavor. Whether you're making pesto, sprinkling it over a homemade pizza, or adding it to your salads, nothing beats the taste of fresh, homegrown basil. In this video, I'll walk you through everything you need to know about how to care for basil plants indoors, from picking the right variety to harvesting for the best flavor. Let's get into it. Why grow basil indoors? So why grow basil indoors instead of just planting it outside? Well, for one, indoor growing gives you more control over the environment. You don't have to worry about unexpected weather changes, pests like slugs or snails, or frost damaging your plant. Plus, if you live in an apartment or don't have access to a garden, indoor growing is a great solution. Another benefit? Basil is a fast-growing herb, and with proper care, you can harvest it continuously throughout the year. That means a constant supply of fresh basil right from your windowsill, even in the dead of winter. Choosing the right basil variety. Now, not all basil is created equal. There are many different types of basil, and each has its own unique look and flavor profile. Genovese basil, this is the most common variety. It has large, smooth green leaves and that classic sweet basil flavor. Perfect for Italian dishes. Thai basil has smaller, pointed leaves and a slightly spicy, anise-like flavor. It holds up better in cooking, especially in stir-fries and curries. Lemon basil, as the name suggests, it has a fresh citrus scent. Great for teas and seafood dishes. Purple basil adds a visual pop with its deep purple leaves. It's a bit spicier and looks beautiful in salads or as a garnish. Choose one that fits your taste or grow a couple in small pots to enjoy a variety. Container and soil basics. Let's talk about what basil needs in terms of a home. First, choose a container with proper drainage holes. Basil hates sitting in soggy soil, and waterlogged roots can lead to root rot. Clay or terracotta pots are great because they allow moisture to evaporate, but any pot with holes will do. Next, go for a light, well-draining potting mix. Don't use heavy garden soil, which can compact in containers and hold too much water. A good mix includes components like peat moss, coco coir, perlite, or vermiculite to help with aeration and drainage. If you want to boost fertility, you can mix in a bit of compost or organic fertilizer at planting time. Light requirements. Basil loves the sun. In fact, the more sunlight it gets, the better it grows. Aim for at least 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. Place your basil near a south-facing window if possible. That's usually where you'll get the most consistent and direct light indoors. If you don't get enough natural light in your home, grow lights are a fantastic alternative. LED grow lights that mimic sunlight can keep your basil thriving, even in darker rooms. Just keep the light about 6 to 12 inches above the plant and leave it on for 12 to 14 hours a day to mimic natural daylight. Watering tips. Watering basil can be tricky for new growers. Basil likes moist but not soggy soil. The top inch of soil should be dry before you water again. To test, just stick your finger into the soil. If it feels dry up to your first knuckle, it's time to water. When you water, do it thoroughly. Let the water soak through the soil and drain out the bottom. Then, empty any saucers underneath the pot to avoid root rot. In cooler or more humid months, you may need to water less frequently. Overwatering is a common killer of basil, so always check first. Temperature and humidity. Basil is native to warmer climates, so it prefers temperatures between 65 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. It doesn't tolerate cold drafts, so avoid placing it near air conditioners or windows that get chilly at night. It also loves humidity. Dry indoor air, especially during winter, can stress the plant. A few things you can do to keep basil happy: mist the leaves lightly with water every few days. Place the pot on a tray filled with pebbles and water to increase local humidity. Group basil with other plants to create a more humid microclimate. Pruning and harvesting. Pruning is essential for keeping basil full and healthy. Once your basil has grown about 6 to 8 inches tall and has at least 6 sets of leaves, you can start pruning. The trick is to always cut just above a set of leaves or node where 2 leaves grow out. This encourages 2 new stems to grow in place of the one you just cut. Prune regularly, even if you're not using the leaves, to prevent the plant from getting leggy. And always pinch off any flower buds that appear. Once basil flowers, the plant focuses its energy on seed production, and the leaves become bitter. Try to never harvest more than 1/3 of the plant at a time to avoid stressing it. Fertilizing. Basil is a moderate feeder. If you used good soil, you may not need to fertilize often. But for best results, feed your plant with a diluted, balanced fertilizer, like October 10 or a liquid organic option, every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season. Avoid over-fertilizing, which can cause lush, watery growth with less flavor. Always water after feeding to prevent root burn. Common problems and how to fix them. Even with the best care, sometimes things go wrong. Here are a few common basil problems: leggy plants, usually due to low light. Move the plant to a sunnier spot or add a grow light. Yellowing leaves, often caused by overwatering or poor drainage. Brown or black spots, could be fungal issues. Improve airflow, avoid splashing water on leaves, and don't overcrowd. Tiny bugs under the leaves, check for aphids, spider mites, or whiteflies. You can spray with neem oil or a mild soapy water solution to get rid of them. Regularly inspecting your basil will help you catch issues early. Propagating and repotting. If your basil gets too big for its pot, you can gently move it to a larger one. Just loosen the roots and transfer it into a new container with fresh potting mix. Want more basil without buying another plant? Try propagating from cuttings. Cut a 4 to 6 inch stem below a leaf node and place it in water. After a week or so, you'll see roots forming. Once the roots are about 2 inches long, transplant the cutting into soil. Easy. And that's your complete guide to caring for basil indoors. To recap, use a well-draining pot and rich soil. Give your basil plenty of light, at least 6 hours. Water when the top inch is dry. Keep it warm and slightly humid. Prune regularly and harvest the right way. Watch for pests and enjoy fresh basil all year long. Thanks so much for watching. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more plant care videos. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below if you've got a basil tip or question to share. Until next time, happy growing.